All right, let's do this. After a year off, the summer's largest video game conference kicks off on Saturday, June 12th, featuring 4 days of major news and fresh trailers, all virtual and completely free for anyone to watch. This is E3 2021. The Entertainment Software Association canceled E3 2020 as the global COVID-19 pandemic shut down industries across the globe. Despite the shutdown, or maybe because of it, the video game market saw a record-setting year, and both Sony and Microsoft launched their 9th-generation consoles, the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, at the end of 2020. This year, E3 is back on, and it's fully digital, taking place on live streaming sites including Twitch and YouTube. Unlike previous years, attendance is totally free, and the show runs from June 12th through June 15th, with a handful of related events sprinkled among those dates. So here's our outline of the most exciting showcases at and around E3 2021. It all starts on Wednesday, June 9th, with the reveal of the new Battlefield. It's been nearly 3 years since the launch of Battlefield 5, and developers at EA and DICE have a lot to prove. Battlefield 5 was a disappointment for fans and EA's bottom line, and the next Battlefield is a chance to revive the series. Leaks suggest it'll be set in the near future and support online matches of more than 100 players. Regardless, the rumor should be set straight with the official Battlefield 6 reveal on Wednesday at 10 a.m. ET. Next up, at 2 p.m. ET on Thursday, June 10th, the Summer Game Fest goes live. This is the grand show hosted by Jeff Keighley, and it's guaranteed to feature a handful of surprise announcements and trailers, including the Day of the Devs showcase from Double Fine and I Am 8-Bit. We also know that Weezer is going to perform a new song from an unknown game, and Jeff Goldblum is going to show up for some reason. Not that I'm complaining. Friday, June 11th is fairly quiet. It starts with a presentation from Netflix at 12 p.m. ET with debut trailers from shows and films based on video game properties. Netflix has teased specific titles including The Witcher, The Cuphead Show, Castlevania, and Resident Evil. And then at 3 p.m. ET, Deep Silver's parent company, Koch Media, will host a stream, but it definitely won't feature news about Saints Row, Metro, Dead Island, or Time Splitters. Ubisoft will show off the game formerly known as Rainbow Six Quarantine, which was supposed to launch in early 2020 but was delayed by, a real-life quarantine. The studio will also provide a closer look at Far Cry 6, discuss updates to Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Rainbow Six Siege, and talk about Mythic Quest, the charming Apple TV Plus series that Ubisoft co-produces. The studio won't share any information about the Prince of Persia remake. And then, at 4:30 p.m. ET on Saturday, Devolver Digital will host a live show featuring its special blend of satire, violence, comedy, and straight-up marketing, focusing on its roster of high-profile indie games. Notably, just before E3 week, Devolver retweeted a 2017 message reading, "There is no Hotline Miami 3. Make of that what you will." Sunday, June 13th is the big day. At 1 p.m. ET, Xbox and Bethesda will host a joint press conference, their first since Xbox acquired ZeniMax Media, the parent company of id Software, Arcane Studios, Tango Gameworks, and, of course, Bethesda. The show will last 90 minutes and focus on games, which is good news for Xbox Series X owners. Xbox has spent the past few years gobbling up talented studios, though the Series X has been light on exclusive software so far. It looks like the Xbox and Bethesda event will highlight Halo Infinite in particular. But that's not all for Sunday. At 3:15 p.m. ET, Square Enix will show off a handful of its own titles, including Babylon's Fall, the mysterious project from Bayonetta and Nier Automata studio, Platinum Games. Platinum teased Babylon's Fall back in 2018, and once again in 2019, but aside from some spectral swordplay and Dark Souls vibes, details about the game have been scarce. Square is also planning to debut a new title out of Eidos Montreal, the studio responsible for Deus Ex Human Revolution and Mankind Divided. Rumor has it, this game is based on the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise. If that's true, let's hope Square treats it better than Marvel's Avengers. Monday, June 14th will feature a handful of presentations from companies including Limited Run Games, Razer, Capcom, and Take-Two Interactive. Take-Two hasn't outlined what it'll bring to the show, though the ESA says the studio is hosting a panel discussion on diversity, equity, and inclusion. Somehow, I don't think that'll include Grand Theft Auto news. And finally, just like old times, Nintendo is hosting the final major press conference of E3 on Tuesday, June 15th at 12 p.m. ET. This Nintendo Direct livestream will focus on Switch games, and fans are hoping to get updates on high-profile titles, including Metroid Prime 4, Bayonetta 3, and the sequel to Breath of the Wild. Nintendo announced the existence of Metroid Prime 4 in 2017, and 2 years later, developers said they were throwing it all away and starting development from scratch. News has been quiet since then. It's a similar story with Bayonetta 3 and the Breath of the Wild sequel. It's been years since Nintendo has offered updates on these games, even though demand remains high. If these games don't show up at Nintendo's E3 event, fans will be angry. Well, as angry as a bunch of Animal Crossing addicts can be. Though Nintendo has specifically stated its live stream will be about Switch software, there are also rumors of the company dropping a new, high-end version of the Switch before E3 even kicks off. We're filming this on Monday, June 7th, so if that's already happened by the time you're watching, sorry, and I hope it's everything you hoped for. And that's it for E3 2021. Once again, Sony won't be there, but Engadget will be. We'll be hosting live streams for 4 of the aforementioned events: the Summer Game Fest kickoff show, Ubisoft, Xbox and Bethesda, and Nintendo. My colleagues and I will watch the shows with you and provide analysis and commentary along the way. And we'll probably cry a little bit if we don't see Bayonetta 3. So subscribe to the Engadget YouTube channel to spend E3 with us, and stay tuned to Engadget.com for all the breaking news, fresh games, and interviews from the show. See you there.